Hello guys and welcome back to our coaster. It's the third episode of the inverted B&M styled coaster, and this is the final layout. I have to say this time it will be a little bit different. Last time with this coaster, which we kind of spend a little look on right now, I had this prepared already completely with all the theming around it, and after the video just an hour later I could provide you with the POV. This time this won't be the case simply because I haven't been able to finish the entire area, and I don't see that I'm going to finish it anywhere near the next couple of hours or days. So at this time you just need to wait a little bit, but I thought I just want to keep you talk you through the development of the coaster a tiny little bit. We won't have an on-ride in this video just because I want to separate it to give you the final one, but I changed a lot, and you will see I have provided you oh no, I think I will do it a little bit differently. So this is the entire thing how it looks right now, and I will now give you a little bit of a time-lapse part where you can see how I changed the entire thing. I didn't record everything, I record most of it, so yeah, just to give you an idea, and I will just give it some music. If you don't want to, you can just skip ahead until we are back in the real-time part, and then I talk you through the elements which I've changed. So see you in a while. So yeah, back we are. So you could have seen how I changed a little bit of those elements. And right now I just need to wait a second. I forgot to open the timer to see how long I already talked to you. I even have no idea how long the time lapse will be, so I will now talk for a little bit of a few minutes to you through the elements. So first of all, I changed a few things according to the comments. So obviously the 0G roll on here has changed quite a lot. I tweaked it many times, and then I kind of gave it this camelback shape, and yeah, kind of a 0G roll on a camelback, which is I think it's a little bit better than what we have before. So it's now actually looking like a 0G roll, and it's also behaving like one. So I'm pretty happy with how the train behaves through it. We can just position ourselves onto this area over here. You can see how fluid it is then. So I'm pretty happy. I just worked a little bit more with banking offset, so yeah, it kind of seems to be way better than before, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So next up is this inversion over here. So the half loop going into the next area, and you know, many of you commented this, and I have to say, I have to admit, I'm not, you know, I don't want to stick to this mid-run break for any reason. I mean, like it seemed like I wanted to have it by heart, but no, it's okay to leave it out. And you guys are right saying that the coaster is short enough to get it running with one run without a mid break. What did I just say? Without a mid-run break. So there we go. And yeah, I honestly wanted to shape it in the way that we kind of go from this area directly into this area as it is right now, but it kind of has this little bump in it, which I added later on, because I first of all had those two areas over here connected with one straight, but it somehow looked pretty weird because this one is a little bit too far away from this one. So if it would be correct, I need to grab the entire thing and move it a little bit further over here, so that, I mean, like, you know, that the shape goes over here. So the other idea I had is to make this one bigger and then go straight into this section over here, which is kind of looking great, but it's just not working because the coaster doesn't make it to the top. It's already pretty slow over here in this area, so when the next train is coming over, you can see. So I will also have to change the times of stoppage times over here, or maybe just click away the block of the station, I don't know, just to avoid having the coaster stuck over there. So I think that will be a little bit easier, so to avoid that. Anyways, that's over here with the section. Then I redid the looping over here, which was also according to the comments, and I pretty much gave it a little bit more of this drop shape to it. It's, yeah, I'm happy with it right now. So it's kind of a little bit better looking than the in-game one, and I'm also happy with how yeah, it's not perfectly shaped like a teardrop, but you know, I'm pretty happy with it. Also how the train behaves, the speed is good, and then we just hit into I think it's my favorite part of the coaster right now. So we have this little overbank curve over here, and then we have the other overbank turn over here, and in the middle of it we have a little bit of a twisty area where the train is going to change its direction 2 times, and I also worked a little bit with banking offset. So for the on-ride it's pretty fun to change to the left and to the right, and again into those 2 overbanked turns, and then go straight back towards the station. But then you just have this right this corkscrew going over here, which I said this in the last time, and also again thanks to the comments, yeah, the term I was looking for is the force. I wanted to have some more force going in, like the lateral, is it the lateral G-force? I don't know, but the force going into this corkscrew one, I wanted them to be a little bit stronger than we had before. Before, the one I had in the last episode was really fluid, you know, that the coaster was just pretty much changing from the right hander over here into the corkscrew, and it was pretty fluid. You kind of had this feeling going through it, like if it was supposed to be as if we would enlarge the entire turn and then just go straight back to the left side. So it doesn't really feel like you are lifted into this corkscrew. And I changed that by adding, it kind of looks weird, but on the on-right it's pretty much okay, because you don't, it looks like if there would be a bump over here, but there isn't. It's just feeling way better right now, because you are lifted into the right-hander corkscrew, and it's really, you are just released into it, more or less, like you just not go fluid into it. It's like, yeah, really lifted into it by a lot of forces. So then we go. The end of it is pretty much as fluid as it was before. I just changed the overall shape of this turn a little bit. Then of course I added the area down here. So no, I didn't edit, I edited it. Damn. You just go through it now with a really long long right-handed turn, and then same goes for this area. You are then lifted into this kind of inline twist, which I changed a little bit again. So I don't even know, it's more or less an inline twist, isn't it? So it's just a little bit, you know, you go into this overbank curve over here and then just roll back into the last area, which then is the last a deep right-handed curve, which is going into another deep section, like below the actual coaster level, and then back up into the brake run. So I also changed the brake run right now. I can just, I by the way, I forgot to remove the push tires, because we don't need them now, because the entire speed of the last section is now way higher than it was before, because we just got rid of the mid-run brake, and you know, it's way faster than before. It has a pretty nice speed, a decent speed through all the elements. It's not too slow, but also not too fast. It has a lot of speed to the last area, so this twist over here is still in a good speed. It could be a tiny little bit faster for my taste, but I'm happy with it. And so therefore I could change the brake run a little bit, and you can see it's pretty much fast enough to go into the station without the push tires. So I will definitely change that. And yeah, that's pretty much it about how the coaster looks in general. I am pretty happy with how it turned out, to be honest. I don't know, I'm really curious to see what you guys will comment onto this one, but to be honest, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Oh, by the way, one last thing I forgot to mention. This section over here, which is, you know, basically a lot of you commented this on some of the recent videos of this coaster, that the first element on B&M Inverted tend to be the looping, or maybe a 0G roll. But in fact, what I found, the Dueling Dragon coaster, which has a different name right now, I guess, but one of my favorite B&M coasters, unfortunately I wasn't able to ride them. But you know, those have exactly that element as first element. So the other one would be on the left side, going into the same element, just mirrored to the other side. And I completely stole that one. You know, that's not something I invented or I just did. It's completely stolen from the Dueling Dragons. And as far as I know, they go into a looping afterwards. I'm not sure right now if it is a 0G roll or a looping which follows, but pretty much this whole area over here is shaped after them. And after this one, we're going into a completely custom-made one. But as far as the entire layout goes, we just now have a lot of really common B&M styled elements in the coaster, but I think in the end, and that's what I wanted to achieve, it's a pretty own standing layout. For my taste, it's a pretty fun layout. I had a lot of fun testing this one, and I'm also really happy and really curious to see what you guys say when it's finally themed. And I'm planning to do this as a 4K blueprint, so that I can release this time, because this one was too much with terrain interaction. But this one's pretty simple. I will have some holes digged into the ground, but I will do it like I did over here, so that you can later on grab this file and stick it into the earth. I will put in some markers so you can see where you have to dig the terrain away, and then you're pretty much good to go. So that's basically it about the coaster, and so you can use it in your own parks with this little terrain interaction. And I have to say, I love those elements in general for coasters. When you see you're just walking down over here and the coaster is just going into the ground, which is, I think it's a pretty cool element for a coaster. because I always think that it's cool when you see the coaster going away, so it's kind of disappeared, and then just hitting back onto you and then just rushing above your heads. And I will have to put in some safety nets over here, but as far as this goes, I love how that looks when you're just standing below watching the coaster. And we just let's do this for the end of this episode. So you're just standing here, you're just approaching the coaster. The entrance will be over there, or it is over there already, so he's already running there, or is it a she? I don't know. But anyways, you can see the coaster go there, it disappears, then it goes straight onto this area, coming back to you, and just disappearing into the ground, coming up again into the looping, disappearing again into the ground, and then just rushing above your heads, and you will just follow it, just kind of this, and then it's coming back again. Has a lot of interaction with this area in front of the entrance, you know. And then when you're just going into the queue area, which will be in the backyard, so I don't know if I will enlarge it a little bit over here. But for now I will have the coaster in there, and maybe I'll go and enlarge it a little bit over here. But the entire idea is to just go into the coaster, which has a little bit of a high-speed area passage, I don't know how to call it, above your heads when you just at the beginning of the queue. Standing in the queue, you have a lot of interaction with this half loop over here, the helix over here, and also the last part of the coaster over here, where you stand and you can hear, like, you know, the coaster is going completely around you, and then you do hear, you don't see it, but you do hear how it's hitting the brake run, which I think it's always a cool thing when you're just hearing it. I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit stupid in that, but that's something I do like in theme parks in general. So yeah, there's a little bit of a concept behind it, but I think, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that entire thing turned out, and I hope you guys do as well. And yeah, I'll be happy to see you then in the final build, and yeah, see you then in the next episode of this one, which will be in fact a hypercoaster, I guess. I will have to check the comments again, but I think I will. I think I do want to do one, so I'm just assuming that hypercoaster was one of the most named. I'm pretty sure it was one of the most named coasters. Anyways, we will see each other in the next episode of our coaster with the hypercoaster. Then you will get the cinematic, and I think Camel Kingdom will also hit in between.